Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to the next episode review of Undead Girl Murder Farce, episode 12, and it was just funny that by the end of this episode, which I'm glad next week is we getting the 13th episode, which I'm glad for. So, leaving how it ended though, but just given the whole, I gotta say right now, just given how by the end of this episode, like, chaos is erupted now, and people are dying left and right, both werewolves and humans of the villagers. But hey, it's all good now because now that Aya has now solved the mystery. Yeah, like, all this chaos is going on, but hey, Anya's saying, "Hey, I solved the mystery. That's all that matters." I guess all this stuff is erupted now. I guess the mystery does not matter no more. But I guess but except Aya, she still cares about the solving it. So, but just how that ended with that, it's like, okay, oh yeah, but that's the bottom line. The mystery's been solved. That's all that matters. So, but that's the ending for episode 12, which that was very funny too, though. But just amidst all this stuff, this massacre is going on now. But before all that, though, Shizuku, she's in their little prison cell. So, but now that the Aya and Cigarro has arrived, and the one girl werewolf, the one wolf girl with the orange hair, knows who they are because since Shizuku told about them, takes them to her. They bring her clothes, and Cigarro just like he's like, where's my reward? And Shizuku just goes and pokes him in the eye, and then it brings her clothes, and she goes like, where's my underwear? And Cigarro's like, whoops, I forgot it. Oh my god, Cigarro, he's a badass at the same time he's an idiot. I think he deliberately forgot her underwear, maybe because he wants to get a peek of if she's in her maid uniform, if she does like some kind of flip or something. I don't know what's get a sneak peek. I don't know what though, but he's like, oh, I forgot it. I forgot your underwear. Oh boy. So, since the circumstances, they're gonna have Aya's gonna have Shizuku stay in the cell for a bit longer, so no one will get suspicious. So she has them returned to where Shizuku was, where the body was found, right, and the whole shot in the tree. So she has them look at where the tree was shot at, and the blood on the floor, and this particular cone-shaped stone, and they find without that the explanation why. That they only heard one shot. Now, all the stuff is starting to come together, right? That that cone-shaped rock, it's actually a secret passage underground. So, and they found that's where the murder took place at. So, like, I guess that's because no one can smell. That's where the scent comes off, right? Because no one can smell where. Leading to underground, right? So that's why they find the gun, and they found the one shot to the head, right? So they figure because they said it was like, how could it be two shots if they only heard one shot right from the last episode, right? The shot in the tree and the dead girl shot in the chest, right? So they kind of fired one shot down there so no one could hear. But I think they purposely fired the shot out there, so for like a, distract them to leave to what's happening, right? And they find they find that dead girl, Alna, the blonde girl with the glasses. They find her dead, and they find like I and Cigar. They find this there's a pillow and blanket on the floor with with hash marks crossed out on the wall for how many days. And they come out the other way. It's like upside where this other part of the mountain is. We found that the old guy that from they first met. I forget what that guy's name was though, but he's the old guy with the glasses and the beard. And say, hey, where'd you come from? And and then while it is happening, because remember they got attacked by in the beginning of the end of the last episode, they got attacked by Frankenstein Victor, and at least I think that the Frankenstein he could talk fully, not only because like how Frankenstein doesn't really talk at all though, so like this Frankenstein does talk coherently, talk normally. Because at the start of this, because after they get attacked by Frankenstein, they're gonna say, "Hey," because they kind of expected them to follow them here. Because remember that Moriarty wants to his part of the experiment is doing with werewolves, right? So Victor said that Carmela, the vampire, and Alistair are here, so they know they've been scouting the place. Because that's part of Moriarty's plan, right? So he knows they're there. So Cigar just gives him the stone, the diamond. Since they know where it's at, they have no use for it now. So he goes and gives Frankenstein the stone, and they just go and leave. So, and then after that, Victor, he's just gonna lay back casually because their plan has to be done at night because the werewolves nighttime. So, then jumping back ahead then. Jumping ahead again, back to where I was. They give Shizuku her weapon back, and we see the Camilla has like subdued most of all the women werewolves, including one of the other girls that was with Shizuku from the last episode. Was it Kaya? And and they suspect, they're trying to put all this, all the pieces together, even with which you get this really good fight sequence, which I think is one of the better action sequences I've seen in this series so far. When Cigaru fights the werewolves, the first one, first he goes and tosses one with his guys by the tail, just tosses it down, and the other one where he's like rolling on a tree and just goes and takes it, grabs it by his knees. And just snaps his neck. And the third one, where they go off a cliff, he falls down and try to hit the one piece of the rock, and he repels from a tree, and as he goes and jams his fist right through the werewolf's mouth. You know, like how the last episode where Shizuku goes and jams the broomstick through the werewolf's mouth? Here, Shizuku does the same thing, but he does it with his fists. And he gets bitten too, though, but that does not faze him because he's a badass, so. And then all of a sudden, just basically the finale that where Aya is putting the final pieces together, because before all this chaos starts, it leads back to that broken window from before when they're investigating that girl, the handicapped girl, Lois, and we find out that the girl, because her parents, they're just pieces of garbage because. Because one of the we see in flashback how they're talking to Aya, like because since she's a handicapped girl, she's in a wheelchair, so she can't go anywhere on her own, right? And they deliberately left her there, and they just after they just left her there, they just ran with the wheelchair as fast as they could. I'm like, wow, you parents are just garbage, Wow, you're just a bad humans into the So, and they did kind of feel guilty about it, and then Lois, they kind of put together that what was going on. That's why I had some earlier that we saw that they're being carried by the werewolf earlier, but they brought her back to the village, and they kind of like treat her like she was like a little bit of like a goddess or whatever. That's why there's a big painting of her, and because she had information, they found that she had information about. I guess about the werewolves, I guess. So they kind of like treated her like a little bit like gold afterwards. Even despite the fact they just deliberately just left her in the woods. Because they didn't want to take care of her. Yeah, great parenting, dumbasses. So, and then was the lead up to the putting the final clues together, and like the whole thing with the broken window in her room. And then all the chaos starts happening. Like what, when those two white cowboys, and everything, and the cowboys, like they're shooting werewolves. The tall cowboy which I guess his name is Kyle, me, has all these chains, starts smashing all these werewolves' heads just with the chains, like, I'm like, damn, you know? He has all these chains. I'm like, what was the fascination with chains? I'm like, in the previous episode, dealing in, last Boss Queen, you know, there was a guy with all these chains, right? And now this guy has all these chains. This one other cowboy has all these chains. Just lays across a whole row of werewolves, just smashing their heads in. And the other cowgirl, I forgot her name, but shooting. And then there's all this whole chaos massacre erupts between the villager people, the humans, and with the werewolves. They're all killing each other, shooting, shotguns, and werewolves biting, and all of that is happening. And then with so she's on her own. I told her to go while the other wolf girl with the orange hair is left in her care. Aya is she's gonna hold on for Aya for now. And so Shizuko goes and sees all the girls that were other wolf girls that were subdued. She realized that the other girl she knew has Camilla's bite mark on her because she was subdued. Just like, you know, she realizes that. And even Victor Frankenstein gets in on the action too. So I mean, everything's just happening all at once. It's just like so chaotic, and then by the end of the episode, where the wolf girl with the orange hair is digging up something, and it's like, what is this? And then in the last few seconds, like, we see the episode she goes says, "Oh, everything is solved now." And then we get this nice shot where it zooms in and out of all these different of pairings of characters that where they're going to fight against. Like, zooming in and out of images of other characters that are probably going to fight each other, you know? I mean, we see Alistair using his little magic pins to, like, one of the werewolves, like, having, like, foaming at the mouth because it's, like, poison. And everything is just happening all at once. Everything's just chaos, you know, and just... But hey, like I said, overall, hey, all this is going on, but Aya has solved the mystery. They dig up something, and it's like, everything is solved. Oh, man, just like, wow. I mean, this has been really exciting, you know. I've been loving this show a lot, and I feel like this is one that's being, like with My Home Hero, I think this one is being swept under the rug, you know. Like with My Home Hero, I'm like, people slept on My Home Hero, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I just don't want people to sleep on this one. I want people to enjoy this. It's been really fun, you know. I mean, Seguro, I thoroughly enjoyed. Aya, too. Shizuku. All the other supporting cast members I've seen, like other characters, not cast members, but the characters, like from Sherlock Holmes, Dr. Watson, Inspector Lestrade, I was surprised to see in this, Phileas Fogg, and then the other, like Professor Moriarty, Frankenstein, Phantom of the Opera, Alistair, Camilla the Vampire, who was that gentleman thief? Oh shit! I forgot what was the name. Lupus. Yeah, Lupus. Lupa. I think it was Lupa or Lupus. The gentleman thief. And it was cool seeing all these characters from those other stories, you know. And we're doing first with the vampires, now doing with the thief, the jewelry theft with Sherlock Holmes arc, and then now with this, we're dealing with them with the werewolves arc. And this has been really, really good, you know, like this whole detective series I've really enjoyed. And I don't want people to sleep on this one. I recommend this show to people who haven't seen this. I really do. And this was the whole thing with the whole insane finale of this episode. And I'm glad we're getting on a 13th episode, which is next week. So I'm glad we're going to see how that's going to turn out, though, and how she solved the whole mystery. Can't wait to see their big reveal on that, though. But yeah, really, really insane episode, I would say. But yeah, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the last Boss Queen, and we'll see you next time on the next video. Later.